How do you know when and how you really become a tax resident of Italy? When I speak to people all around the world, somehow dealing with Italy, maybe moving, maybe just investing in Italy, they're worried about taxes and fiscal consequences. I cannot blame anyone. Italy is not the best country ever out there in terms of tax savings, let's be honest. But there is something a lot of people forget about. And this principle applies not just for taxes, but to every problem you're dealing with in your life. First thing first, is the problem real or just in your head? Complexity usually comes with more confusion and mistakes. In Italy, the basic rules refer to the 103 days principle. If you spend more than 6 months, you're a tax resident. If it's less, nothing to tell. If you register to the anagrafe or your municipality for more than 103 days, you become a tax resident, you leave earlier, zero tax bill, and so on. Like black or white scenarios, where people basically choose whether or not to benefit from this principle, just approaching this matter purely time-related. When that happens, when I meet people that think that it's a very easy door to unlock at your preference, I love to challenge their logic. I know I'm bad to the bone when I do that. Let's talk about John, who buys a property in Italy and he spends less than 103 days every year. He thinks that saving the day and leaving Italy before July 1st of every year is a free pass, one way only to the tax heaven. What happens if he signed the property purchase applying the beneficio prima casa? Because someone told me to do so to save some taxes, 9% versus 2%. What happens if he spends less than 103 days in Italy, but the rest of the time of the year he moves between Dubai, Spain, Russia, without staying there in each country for more than 5 months each? Let's talk about Susan, who goes after Italian citizenship. Her lawyer suggests signing up to the anagrafe to complete the process and get their certificate in time. She leaves Italy by, May 31st, but she signed a lease, a rental agreement, until August 15th. And she forgot to tell the landlord to finish and register the contract before the regular expiration date. Now, let's meet Gabriel now, a very smart businessman with companies abroad, retirement accounts abroad, and a lot of money sitting in foreign bank accounts. He's not married, but he has a kid with an Italian woman, and she lives in Italy. And since he loves the kid, he likes to spend 3 to 5 months in Italy working remotely. The last one, let's meet Dori. She usually retired from work, she loves to travel, and she spends time here and there, moving every 3 months all around the world. But she has relatives in Italy, and every now and then she moves money to an Italian bank account to help them out. All these people are the perfect fit definition of the 103 days rule, since none of them seems to fall into the definition of tax resident provided by the Italian law. But, and whenever you hear me say that, bad news are coming. But there are also international rules, the tiebreaker rules, international agreements between countries that don't even care what Italy thinks about the requirements of someone becoming a tax resident here or there. If you move from or come from a country A and you deal with Italy somehow, you have a very big problem to solve before even checking the Italian tax rates. What does country A think about you if you behave a certain way? The main principle, the ultimate golden rule, says you cannot be a tax resident of nowhere. So if country A says you're not a tax resident in that given jurisdiction any longer anymore, and there is only Italy sitting on the other side of the table, where do you think your tax residency is now? There is a quote that I love. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. The very first, most valuable advice you may get from an international tax firm is this: how and when do I become a tax resident according to my specific case and country of origin?